Hello, you guys. In the last video, we talked about how to use your grid to attract your ideal audience on Instagram, how we want to pull in a brand new audience, and how content is different from Facebook to Instagram. So if you have not tuned into that video, I will link it here for you. Make sure you check that out because Instagram is such an incredible place for social sellers, but there's really important that you understand how to create content specifically for Instagram and how that differs from other platforms. Because what we want to do on Instagram is pull in a brand new audience. Now, we're never going to turn away our friends and family from tuning into our account, especially because a lot of the times they can be your customers. They can be people that refer new customers to you, new people into your world. But at the end of the day, we are building a public facing Instagram platform in order to attract a brand new audience and build a personal brand. Now, in the last video, we talked about your content pillars and how you're going to use them to create content for your grid on Instagram. Inside this training, what I want to dive into is how you're going to actually sell on Instagram, right? If your content pillars and your grid are all about the value and bringing people in and getting them kind of like falling in love with you, falling in love with the content that you share, then how do you transition that into sales? Because at the end of the day, if you're in social selling, if you're in network marketing, that's what you're here to do. You're here to sell. But gone are the days when you get to Instagram and you see big gasp in this moment, you see company graphics or you see a grid full of products. You guys, that is the quickest way to get someone to run the other way. Now, it's not that I'm not proud about being in social selling. It's not that I'm not proud of being in the network marketing industry. I am proud of both of those. I deeply believe in this industry. But at the end of the day, there's still a moment where we don't want to be like those people. We don't, like, people are going to run from network marketing, right? They're afraid you're going to hunt them down and sell them things. And at the end of the day, the average consumer or viewer, like, it is just a more sophisticated platform than that. And Instagram, make no bones about it, is for original content. That's why we talk so heavily about your content pillars in the last video. In this one, we're going to transition to selling. And the majority of selling that you're going to do is actually going to be in your stories. And your stories are very different. So I want you to think about your grid for a stranger. It's what's going to pull them in. You've got a couple seconds in order to like get their attention, get them to make a decision if your account is for them or it's not for them. But when they decide it's for them, your stories are going to be where they get to know you as a human, right? And I'm not saying that you need to share every aspect of your life. In fact, I want you to really think about, what do I want to share? What do I want to keep to myself? How am I going to intentionally create content in my stories that are going to bring people behind the scenes of my life, but ultimately, it's going to introduce them to you and to your products, because your stories is going to be the most natural place that you can sell your products, because your products show up inside of your life every single day. You're either wearing your products, or you're cleaning with your products, or you're cooking with your products. And so, quite naturally, when you bring people into your life, you're going to show them your products. And this is when you develop that know, like, and trust with your audience, when they can like relate to you on a human level, which is what you're doing in your stories by bringing them behind the scenes, right? People, if they came into my stories, they would start to understand that I am a boy mom. More than that, I am a hockey boy mom, which is like, I think it's a club all our own. Sports parents will totally get what I'm saying, but it is something that all hockey moms understand on a unique level. People would understand what I love to do, what I love to watch on TV, what I'm reading, a little bit of the intricacies of, parenthood and the things that I, humor that I find and all of those pieces. And so there would be a lot of my audience that would start to, relate to me on a human level. Maybe they are also a hockey mom. Maybe they are just a mom. Maybe they're a boy mom. Maybe they love my sense of style. Maybe they're watching the same things on TV as me. Maybe they struggle with cooking in the same way that I do. Who knows? But when you develop that know, like, and trust, people start to relate to you in a very natural and human way. And when you are able to do that, you will be able to very naturally, genuinely, authentically transition into the sale. Because when you recommend things that you believe in, And you do it in a really natural way by showing people like how you're using it or giving tips and tricks or even like sharing testimonials, all of a sudden they can see how that product would show up in their lives. And what you are trying to do is help them develop a need for that product, right? Purchases are made because we can see how that would benefit us in our lives. So we want to help our audience, our customer base, develop a need for those products. So I want you to think about that from like, let's take an example. Let's take Norwex for an example. If I use Norwex because I love it and because it actually makes cleaning simpler, what I can show is that my life is so busy every single day. And that's going to show up in my content all the time. People can see how much time I spend at the rink. People can see how many times I'm over here doing that, right? People will know quite naturally just based on my content that I live a really busy life. So if I can give them time-saving mom hacks, people are going to listen because they know that I have the authority to give those tips, right? And Norwex is one of those products that absolutely saves me time and energy in the cleaning department. More like, and on top of that, and I don't even sell Norwex, I'm clearly just very passionate about the products and have a lot of really great contacts over the years that do sell Norwex. But more than that, I can take one product and I could actually share with my audience how to use that product in 5 different ways, right? Maybe I turn the camera around, I go live, and I just share them. Hey, you guys, I just cleaned my, my ceiling fan with this. And now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to clean my shutters on my windows. How efficient is that? And then now, not only have I created a need for that product, but I have almost diminished the price point because there are more things you can do with that product. So all of a sudden you can see how people that are watching my stories, who are tuning into my stories, who are relating to me and coming into the behind the scenes of my life, they can see, oh, I don't have one of those, but I struggle with cleaning my shutters and my fan every single month. It's a job that I absolutely hate. If she has a solution that will make that simpler for me, I am all over it. So you guys, how do you actually set up your stories so that you can do it intentionally? You know, at the end of the day, if you are a beginner with stories, what I would recommend you should do, and I recommend this to my clients all the time. You guys, if you don't know, I run like an academy for social sellers and network marketers. It's called the Level Up Academy. I literally give you the blueprint for how to build a 6-figure network marketing company in less than 1 hour a day, 5 days a week. My entire goal is to teach you how to work your business with systems and efficiency so that you can get in and get out. Because if you're anything like me, you do lead a really, really busy life. So what I teach my clients that are brand new to stories is just to start to develop the habit. So just start to turn the camera on yourself, to start to share little bits and pieces of your life, little bits and pieces of the products, until that becomes a habit. And once that becomes a habit, then I want you to graduate to step 2 and get a little bit more intentional with that content. What I like to tell people to do or teach people to do is break your day into 3 to 5 segments. Let me give you an example. The first segment of my day is my morning routine with my boys. Very relatable for a busy parent, very relatable also for an entrepreneur that works from home. So I'll share something, a little snippet of our morning, reminding people that I'm a very busy mom, all the things. And then the middle part of my day is actually when I'm working, and I can share different things that I'm working on, maybe business tips, all those things. Yours could look very different depending on what your day is. And then the evening chunk, again, I shift back into mom life, and I'm probably showing what I'm doing with my evening activities. Maybe I'm at the rink, or maybe I'm watching TV, whatever that is. So try to break your day into 3 different segments and ask yourself, with intention, what do I want to share inside those segments? Now, you decide, like for instance, if you sell style, maybe every single morning you start with one slide that shows your look of the day and outlines the different pieces that you're wearing, how you pair them together, etc. If you sell something to do with cooking, maybe every single evening you bring people into your dinner making routine. You give them tips, you share the products you're using, you make recommendations on cookware, all those things. Can you see where I'm going with this and how you can not only make it seamlessly fit into your day, but you can all of a sudden highlight your products in a really natural and genuine way? I want you to not overthink this. I want you to just ask yourself, where do my products show up every single day? And how could I visually show that to my audience? Some days it's just going to be a quick snapshot. I call that reminder marketing. Some days it's going to be sharing a testimonial. Some days you're literally going to go live and like actually do a product demonstration or chat with the camera. You figure out what that looks like, but start to build this consistency into your Instagram stories. And like, here's another pro tip. Make sure that you have both your Instagram account and your Facebook account attached. I recommend using a creator account on Instagram, which makes it a public facing profile. You do want a public account because that way strangers can find you. If you have a personal account and they have to request to find you, that is a major, major barrier. Like probably about 80 to 90% of people, that will stop them from even requesting to see your account. So make sure that it is a public Instagram account connected to Facebook, and then it's two birds, one stone, because your stories will go from Instagram over to Facebook and you will get to hit both of those audiences. And remember, I know that Facebook is more about your friends and family. And everything I've shared in my stories right now, it's personal. It's actually something that your friends and family are likely going to enjoy as well. So our stories are absolutely where we get to be ourselves. I just want us to be ourselves, thinking intentionally, right? Asking ourselves, how can I highlight my feature or my products? How can I show how they show up in my real life? And how can I create content around this? All right, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the next one, we're just gonna go one step further with a few more Instagram strategies for you. But if you know that Instagram is a place that you want to focus on, I do have an incredible Instagram for social sellers course. It will walk you step by step by step through building your account. It will literally take you from setting up your description to creating your highlights to even more in-depth story strategies and your grid strategies and creating content. And that is, you can buy that on its own, or you can, that's actually a part of the Level Up Academy as well. So I have actually a freebie down below for Instagram, help you getting started on Instagram. It is a social media planner as well as some consistency trackers that I think you will love, because the number one thing that you need to do with social media on a whole, Instagram and Facebook, all the things, is be consistent. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being intentional every single second, but consistency is the name of the game. All right, you guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Reach out if you have any questions.